This is the Hagmann and Hagmann Report for today. It is Wednesday, May 6, 2015. I'm Doug Hagmann. With me in studio is my son, fellow investigator, fellow researcher Joe Hagmann. Together, we are the Hagmann and Hagmann Report. And as I like to call, we are America's premier father-son investigative and investigative reporting team. We do the news triage so you don't have to. Our job is to bring you the news that really shapes the headlines, the news that is twisted and convoluted and hidden amid this funhouse of smoke and mirrors in the carnival we call the corporate media. Just want to say thank you for all the people who have checked in with us from all across the world, many in the United States, even the last couple of days, commenting on what a great program last night was. I want to say hello to all of you. Thank you so much for checking in with us. We really appreciate you dropping us a line, letting us know where you're listening from. Folks, for the new listeners, we broadcast live Monday through Friday from 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Our home base on the Internet is hagmanandhagmann.com. And, of course, we're simulcast by the Christians United Broadcasting Network. We're very proud to say that portions of tonight's broadcast sponsored by Pro Flowers. That's right, Pro Flowers. You know, Mother's Day, this Sunday. Oh, guys, for our moms and our wives and for the very special people in our lives, what do you do? Well, we've got the answer. I'm going to tell you right now you got it. For that particular special someone, Pro Flowers, you call 800-PRO-FLOWERS or go to proflowers.com. Now, if you go to the website proflowers.com, you click on that blue microphone box in the upper right-hand corner and type in our last name, Hagmann, Hagmann. And if you call 800-PRO-FLOWERS, make sure you mention Hagmann as your coupon code, if you will, because that'll give you the chance. Pro Flowers is offering listeners of the Hagmann and Hagmann Report 100 blooms with a free glass vase for just $19.99. That's proflowers.com and 800-PRO-FLOWERS. More about that later in tonight's program. We've got so much news, so much information right now. We've been at it all day, most of the day, just compiling information, researching the things, some things that you haven't heard, I can guarantee you, and things that you need to hear, that I promise you. But with that, Joe, it's great to have you in the studio.
It's great to be here. Got a lot to get into today, and we will get into hopefully most of what we plan to cover today. And had a good day and ready to rock and roll.
Well, exactly. And folks, if I can, let me give you an update here before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's program. An update about our studio. We're making progress in terms of getting things transferred. And I got to tell you, it is quite the job. We're tuckered. We are tuckered out. But in the end, we will be, this is without fail, we will be broadcasting from our new studio location on Monday. Now, here's why I'm mentioning that now, because the rest of this week, we've got Nathan Leal on Friday. We've got some issues in the transitioning of things. So it might be a little bit tonight and tomorrow night. We're going to be flying solo here, Joe and I, only because of the transitioning of equipment, cables, so many things now, the various other things that tie us and guests together. Okay. So you've got us for 2 nights back to back. Ain't it great? But what in the end, what we hope to do and hope to accomplish, and this is because of everyone who's supported us in, financially, because we are a listener-supported show. We really are. We take on selected sponsors, if you will, and that pays for that pays for some of the infrastructure, if you will. But that's it. So, but we're a listener-supported show, and it is because of you, your help, your assistance, your prayers especially, that we're able to do what we're able to do. We do expect a time where the internet where we're going to be facing some decisions on the internet. We're not going to violate our conscience. We're not going to violate our beliefs, our commitment to God. We're not going to be held hostage by anyone at any time. So we are thinking at some point down the road, we're going to have to be able to work around, be heard without restriction. Now, obviously, I'm not going to get into detail, but that is the biggest and most important part of this particular move, having us to be able to have that capability, and also being able to fall back on plans B and C and D, and maybe even working those right in to our daily programming and expanding what we're doing. We intend to do more video, and I think it's extremely important. See, video takes bandwidth, and video takes certain equipment that to do a good job. You know, I mean, look at InfoWars. Look at what a fantastic set that they've got. And, I mean, you know, kudos to Alex Jones and InfoWars for building what they have. All right? If we could strive to, you know, attain the appearance, you know, 50% of that's great. So that's what we're doing. And that's why we're doing this. And we prayed long and hard. And we sought counsel. We sought counsel with Pastor Langford and Steve Quayle and other people who are very important to us, and just to make sure we were doing the right thing. And I'll say this as well: it was a fight. I mean, it was a bloody fight to obtain that studio location, but. Anything worth it is going to be a fight. And I just want to say thank you for everyone who's prayed for us, and your prayers are indeed have been welcomed. But so if and I know a lot of people are saying, hey, I didn't get my bumper sticker, I didn't get my any response to my email. Well, I gotta give us a little bit of time. I think collectively we probably got about 5 hours of sleep over the last 24, and it's just it's just a lot of work. We don't have a staff, just to let you know. I mean, it's just us, no staff, no secretaries, no grips. What do they call those people? I don't know. Anyway, so just kind of letting you know what's going on. So thank you so much for everything everyone has done, and we hope that you know, once we get settled in on, I think you're gonna like some of the changes. This will also give us the opportunity to do much more research, and I don't just because for operational security reasons, I'm not going to get into how that will play out, but you're going to see a lot more material coming out of our website as well. Which is important because there's so much to talk about. I just want to, before we really get into the program as well, I just want to mention one thing. We didn't talk too much about this because of our schedule. We talked about this we talked about it on Monday, but I just want to drive this point home. You know, we had that shooting incident in Texas, Garland, Texas, on Sunday. And a lot of people are accusing Pamela Geller and Steve Emerson and really others of baiting the Muslims. And Sunday night I was on with George Norrie on Coast to Coast AM, and he had made a statement to the extent, well, no one in Garland, Texas wanted this event to take place. Well, you know, we didn't have the time to get into George Norrie's statement, but I'll just say this. That, to me, if you look at that statement by itself, and for people who make that statement, they're missing the point. And I would say it's more of a Stockholm syndrome situation by those making that point. In fact, you can draw parallels between that position. We don't want to inflame the Muslims through a free speech exhibit and a cartoon exhibit. We don't want to inflame them. Or we don't want to seem like we're baiting them. That we can draw parallels between that and what's going on in the Middle East, because there are many evangelical Christians in the Middle East and in Israel who are speaking out against the apartheid of Israel, who are saying that, or accusing Israel of being an apartheid state. And you know who they are, and you know who you are. And in fact, I think it was yesterday. The days are running together. There was a caller to Alex Jones accusing us and Alex Jones of being essentially being funded by Israel. Well, that's not the case, obviously. No one funds us. Israel certainly doesn't fund us. If they do, they're certainly behind on their payments, like forever behind. But we know Israel's position in God's eyes. But I just want to say this about what happened in Texas, and then we're going to turn it over to Joe, and we're going to hit the news. But in 50 years, maybe if you're listening to this show tonight, if you're under, or if you're 50 years old, we'll say, it might not be in your generation, but certainly in your offspring's generation, you're going to see Muslims kill Christians in this country, if we have that long. And I say that because right now we've got ISIS. ISIS is not a new group. If you look back in history, look back to the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire really serves as the model for ISIS. They slaughtered 3 million Christians and reduced any survivors to a second-class status under Islamic subjugation, or what is known as demitude. ISIS is not new. It is merely the re-emergence of fundamentalist Islam. It's the Islam that everyone in America denies exists, or most, I shouldn't say everyone. It's the Islam that the politicians and the media and the comedians and the political pundits and the talking heads, they don't want to talk about. They deny it exists, but it's not new. ISIS is not a fanatical group. It's really, ISIS is comprised of Islamic believers who follow the Quran and Muhammad. End of story. Now, there are moderate Muslims, one might say, or westernized Muslims, but they're considered apostate. They may believe the Quran, or they may say they believe the Quran, but they certainly don't follow it. Think about this. And I think this bears repeating. ISIS is not doing anything that hasn't been done in the past by devout Muslims who have conquered a people they see as infidels. Let that sink in. 96%. And